Hi, my name's Olivia Medina.
Be the light in the cracks.
I am 25 years old. I am a member of a pretty nice-sized family. So I have an older sister. Well, actually, my parents are the pastors of the church our church. We pastor here in Maplewood, Missouri. My dad pastors here in Maplewood, Missouri. And I have an older sister who's 29 years old. She's married. Her name is Felicia Espinoza. Her husband's name is Josue Espinoza. And she got married, oh my gosh, 2 years ago? I could be wrong. And then there's me, I'm 25. And then I have a brother who's right under me. He's 23 years old. And he's married. He married Erin Matthews, who is now Erin Medina. And then I have a sister who is younger, and she's 20 years old. And yeah, so that's my family. There's 8 of us total. And then whenever 2 more additions come, there'll be 10 of us. And then plus the kids we're gonna all have, our family's gonna be so stinking huge. So yeah, I love my family so stinking much. And that's pretty much, I mean, I see them every day, and yeah, we're like super close. Anyways, so I just wanted to start making videos just to share things that I feel are really important for people to know, and they were important for me to know and help me grow. So I figured, hey, why not share it with other people? Okay. So I am full-time in the ministry right now. I'm 25 years old, and I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. My whole life is ministry. My whole life is Jesus. My whole entire life. I've tried other things. I went to school. I got my real estate license. I got a bunch of jobs, and literally nothing worked. And I always ended up here. Honestly, like I just always ended up full time doing what I'm supposed to do for God. The church is my life. So we are definitely a whole family who is 100% in love with Jesus, and we are all ministering at our church. Not by force, not because we have to, but our heart's in it. Our heart is there, and our heart is this city. So, we originally moved from California, I think 13 years ago. My dad and my mom came to Missouri to visit in 2001, I think, and they loved it. And so they came back home to us in California and decided, hey, they prayed about it, and and God was telling them, okay, let's move. It's time for you guys to move. So we packed up and moved here, and a year later, my dad started a church in Maplewood, and we've been here ever since. And this is home to us. And so, yeah, that's a little bit how we got started. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about just something that I had been dealing with for years. And that's identity, finding who I was. I didn't really know who I was. I didn't really know what my purpose was in life. And so that's actually why I tried so many things. And I was just like, man, I gotta find something to do. What am I supposed to do? And when I graduated high school, I knew. I was like, I want to be an English teacher, because my favorite subject was English. And so, because I love to write and read and all that stuff, and so that was my favorite. So I was like, I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna be an English teacher. Well, that is not what God had for me at all. So just through the years, I've always struggled with identity. Who am I? And so I would find myself attaching to certain things that I like to do. So like, I love to hike, I love to read, I love to write, I love coffee, I love all kinds of things. I love trees, I like outdoors, and I like to read and write and all that stuff. And I just like doing those things, but I would find myself kind of like attached to those identities. So like, for instance, if I was being used in the church for like writing or something like that, and someone else was also a writer, I would get threatened. And I'd be like, oh my God, like, if this person's a writer and I'm a writer, where am I gonna be? Yeah, so I really struggled with that, because I was so attached to other things. I was attached to my talents, what God has given me to do. I was attached to those, and if I wasn't able to use those things, and I wasn't able to work with those things all the time and be the only one doing it as good, I was like, that's who I am. And if I'm threatened by that, like, I'm like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I have no purpose, I have nothing to do, what am I gonna do? If I'm an owl lover, if I'm an elephant lover, if I'm an outdoors lover, I want people to know that about me, because I want that to be my identity. I didn't want to just be Olivia Medina. a child of God. I wanted to be Olivia Medina, the hiker and the writer and the coffee drinker. I wanted to be that. And I had to let that go. Because so what if no one knows what I like? All I need to care about, all we all need to care about is that God knows that I'm living this life for him. That God knows that I am sold out to him. Doesn't matter what people think. I battled so much with that, and I realized that my identity has to be in him alone. And he can tell me who I am. He can tell me the kind of person I am. And I cannot attach myself to anything, because the honest truth is, I only can write certain things because he gave that to me. And I only want to be good at it when I'm doing it for him. I only want to be anointed and I want to move people with words only when I'm doing it for Jesus. I don't want to just write things just randomly. I don't want to just write things for entertainment. I want to write things for Jesus. And if he never wants me to write anything again, I'm okay with that. And same with singing. I want to sing only for Jesus. I don't want to sing to sound good. I want to sing for him. And these are things that it takes a little bit to realize that we have to actually change our mindset, because we get so stuck on that. Your identity in Jesus, and that's how you can be confident. That's how you can be comfortable in anything that you do, because you know that God has blessed you to do it. You know that God has anointed you to do it, and you know that he's going to use you. And you know that the minute he doesn't want you to, you can let it go in a second. When you can let something go like that and just be like, okay, I'll never write again, Lord. That's what you want me to do. I'll never write again. When you can let it go, that's how you know that you're not attached to it. Jeremiah 29:11 says, "For I know the plans I have for you, says the Lord. They are plans for good and not for disaster, to give you a future and a hope." A lot of times we struggle with relying on God to give us our identity and purpose because we don't think that he has our lives under control. We don't think that he's going to give us what we desire. We don't think that the life that he has for us is going to fulfill us and our desires and our wants and our needs and all that. But you have to trust that God knows exactly where to place you. He knows exactly what your purpose is. He knows you. He knows what you can handle. He knows what you can't handle. He knows your talents and abilities. He knows you. So you have to trust that he knows the plans he has for you. And they're for good. They're not for bad. You think for yourself to do, your own plans, your own desires are never, ever, ever good enough. You're always going to want more. You're never going to be satisfied if you planned your own life. That's the honest truth. I did it. I tried it, and I was never satisfied. With every career choice I chose, I was never satisfied, because he knows the plans he has for me. He knows the plans he has for you. And you have to trust that. You have to give it all to God and say, God, okay, I trust your plans for me. I just want to walk in your will. I just want to be in your will. Jeremiah 29:11. Remember that word that he had for you. He knows. He's like, dude, I know what to do with you. Stop trying it on your own. I know what to do. I made you. I know you better than you know yourself. So yeah, that's just a little bit of what the kind of things that I want to talk about. While I'm doing these, I feel like it's important to just share the word, because there's so many good things in here. And so many things in here that help you grow and change and be a better person, be the person you're supposed to be, that God planned for you to be. And it's such a better person than what you could ever think of. So, and I found that. So, yeah. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys can take a little something out of this. And even if there's one person out there who is like, wow, I'm so glad that, she gave me that scripture or whatever. One person is just good enough for me. One view is good enough for me if you can be impacted by it. So yeah, that's what I want to talk about. And that's my video. So follow me on Facebook. I am Olivia Medina on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. I am at Livs Medina, LIVSMEDINA. Follow me on Periscope. I am also at Livs Medina. And Snapchat, I am at Livs Medina, except it's LIVESMEDINA. Also, follow the youth group, because we are off the chain. No, I'm just kidding. But for real, we're pretty awesome. So follow the youth group on all of the social media sites. They are the youth group. And then go online if you have any questions about the youth group. If you're looking for a group of people to connect with and communicate with and hang out with, that's godly and Christian and fun and all that stuff, good music, go to the youth group. And that is www.theyg.org. theyg.org. And then if you're looking for a church home, if you live anywhere near St. Louis, if you live in Missouri, if you live in Illinois, it doesn't matter. If you're looking for a church home, please come try our church out. I'm not being biased, maybe a little, but our church is really, really, really awesome. So the address to our church is 7174 Manchester Road, Maplewood, Missouri, 63143. And if you have any questions, we have a website, and that is www.indaclife.com. One more thing, our youth group is putting on a worship session on Friday night at 7 p.m. This Friday night at 7 p.m. So be there. You're going to love it. It's going to be great. It's at the church. If you have any questions, again, please go follow me, and I'll have the information on there, or go to any of the social media sites or web pages I just gave you, websites I just gave you. Go on there. You guys would love it. You should totally come out. It's just going to be music and fun and no preaching. We're just going to worship God. And I know that we can help you grow. So use us, use me, and stay Christian.
Together.